Hey lovelies, I'm Flair, but you can call me Faye. Welcome and let's get started. So, I just did Baby Carrot Art's OC challenge and it was absolute heck. I had such a hard time with some of the prompts and I wasn't really liking how a lot of my art was looking. But I stuck through and I'm really happy that I did. This first prompt was default design, which I got to finally make. Let me tell you that I had been procrastinating making this outfit so bad. It was rough, man. But basically, it's just a crocheted yellow tank top with some patched up baggy jeans, black platforms, 3 necklaces, and black gloves. It's pretty simple, for me at least, and I really like how it turned out. It's detailed, but not too detailed to where I can draw it super quickly in my sketchbook, which is always a win. But I just need to say, how the heck do people do 30-day art challenges? I had 15 prompts, and I definitely did not complete this in 30 days. This challenge was so hard for me to complete. I had a lot of problems with some of the prompts, and for a lot of them, I didn't try all too hard because I've been really, really busy. I also wanted to make this kind of a reference sheet for Art Fight, which I'm going to join, but it didn't end up turning out that way. I did enjoy getting to think about the outfits and relationships of the characters, but most of the outfits probably won't be incorporated into my webcomic that I'm working on, because I didn't remember to make every outfit match the Bard aesthetic that I chose to have. It's supposed to be very grunge, but most of them don't match said aesthetic. This part is one of the longest recordings because I was setting up the body base for all the outfits. I thought I would make everything a bit easier if I just drew the body and then drew an outfit over the base rather than redrawing the body and making a new outfit each time. But I don't know how Baby Carrot Art did this art challenge so well, because all their art is just so pretty, and I need to know how fast they did this because I feel really, really bad about spending 31 hours on this challenge. Man, am I so tired. This was supposed to be out last week, but I didn't finish it in that time. This was such a long challenge, but it was so much fun. So thank you so much, Baby Carrot Art, for making this challenge. Also, I love your art. But anyways, now I'm working on the actual outfit and the hair rather than the body base. And forgive me, but the base will be over to the side for the entire thing. As you could see in the sketch, I wanted to draw a front-facing and a side-facing head to the side of the body base because I originally wanted this to be an Art Fight reference sheet, but that sadly did not happen. I might make a video on me making the reference sheets for all 8 of my webcomic characters though. It will probably be a little rushed since Art Fight is starting pretty dang soon, but I'm really excited because this is the first year of Art Fight I'll be doing. And yes, I know about all the stuff about people joining from TikTok and the rudeness and the website malfunctions and just all the things. But I don't have TikTok. I'm joining Art Fight because a lot of my favorite creators encouraged me by making their Art Fight videos and talking about it. I also did a lot of research for it, and I'm going to be very cautious, so don't worry. I just want to have some people draw my OCs, and I want to get to draw some other people's OCs. But back to the art, I wanted to draw each of the clothing pieces on different layers so I could try to mix and match each piece together. I sketched almost every piece out on different layers and then did the line art. Then I started coloring them. I feel like the pants of this outfit are the main point of interest, and they are definitely the hardest to draw. Baggy pants just normally have a lot of ripples and creases within them, and I think I should do some baggy pants studies so I could get better at drawing them and understanding the way they move and fold with different body movements and shapes rather than just screwing around with proportions and guessing what it looks like. But, to be honest, guesstimating is one of my favorite hobbies. I have a lot of things that I would like to improve on in my art, but I feel like doing these type of art challenges help my art process a lot. I wanted to do Pencil Cat's 30-day improvement heck challenge for this, but I thought I would start with an art challenge where I had less prompts and also didn't have to draw every day for. So I thought it would be best to do Baby Carrot Arts Challenge because I'm really busy and it would be the easiest for me to complete. Maybe. Anyways, I love giving Aaron these really tall platform shoes, even though they're a freak and already have to duck down to get through doorways, so they don't need the stupid tall shoes. But I don't have a definite height for Aaron yet, or any of my other characters. I know which ones I want taller and which ones I want shorter, but whenever I draw my characters together, I just guesstimate the height differences. So Aaron and M's height differences are probably a lot bigger than I make it normally. We love guesstimating proportions and height differences. But back to the art at hand, I purposely put details of Aaron's outfit that either helped build their past, relationships, family dynamics, or personal preferences. And I used to wonder how making outfits for my characters would help anything. But as an example of that, one of the necklaces I gave Aaron that I didn't add in this drawing is actually a locket with a little picture of Aaron's parents and an engraving that says, "Tu me quiero mucho, mi querida," which is Spanish for, "I love you very much, my dear." This engraving was written in Spanish because that was the main language that Aaron's parents, Julio and Angelica, used to speak. They almost always spoke in Spanish around the house, but since they were bards, that means they sang in Spanish too. I wrote a song that Aaron's parents used to sing to her every night until the night they died, and it makes me tear up almost every time I sing it. We love traumatizing ROCs. Another detail that I love in Aaron's design is the baggy jeans. Yeah, they have a lot of patches because Aaron loves making or fixing clothing, but they're also specifically baggy jeans rather than skinny or fit jeans or pants that are normally in the fairy grunge style because Aaron hates skin-tight pants. But now on to the next prompt of this challenge. So this next prompt was the old or original design of your character. Aaron used to be My Hero Academia self-insert. Yeah, they're a little different now. I made the original Aaron on Gotcha Club. Yeah, I was a gotcha kid. But anyways, this original design of Aaron was definitely what could be defined as a Mary Sue. Aaron was ridiculously overpowered, being Hawks and Mirko's love child, being the next inheritor of One for All, secretly leading 2 different double lives. One is the hero named Starfire. No, is not based off of the Teen Titans character. I hadn't heard or seen it until 3 years later from originally making Aaron. And another as a villain mafia boss named Kronos. Now that name was actually based off of the Titan Kronos, who had control of time, which reflected in the main power that Aaron used while being said villain mafia boss. And since I wanted even more juicy drama, Mary Soonis, I shipped Aaron with not only every boy in Class 1A of UA, which Aaron was obviously in because what kind of a Mary Sue wouldn't be in Class 1A, but every girl in 1A, except Minetta. I never shipped her with that. I completely obliterated him from existence and replaced his place in class with Aaron. And let me tell you, if you hadn't picked it up, Aaron had multiple quirks. And also, another plot twist, Aaron was completely quirkless for most of her childhood. Yeah, it was an interesting story, but writing stories about said character really helped my passion for not only writing, but enhanced my abilities to make stories through my art. I didn't draw characters a lot at that time, but I still loved Aaron fiercely, and ended up finally first revamping her when I had an English language arts assignment when we had to make a cover for a book and also the description of the plot. This was an amazing assignment and inspired the webcomic I'm making currently. It was supposed to be about Erin, a magicless elf witch who was rebellious and charismatic, and Emily, original version of my OCM, who was a really powerful elf witch and a very studious student in school. They go on a quest to save this magic spark flower that powers the place they love and all the magic they have. They have to go on this journey to retrieve it, where they meet their 6 party members and also battle with LGBTQ topics. Yeah, sound familiar? If you watched my last 2 videos, you probably could tell that this was essentially a first draft of my work in progress webcomic. Without that writing assignment, I probably wouldn't have ever created and also drew my characters so much that my art rapidly improved to where I got the courage to finally start this very YouTube channel you're watching right now. But anyways, onwards to the next prompt. This prompt was the formal outfit, but Erin being Erin, they opted for something people would consider a lot more casual than anything. But if you really knew Erin, if you saw them in this outfit, you know that they mean business. Erin's formal outfit is something I think people would wear to attend a rock concert. It's a cropped leather jacket, a red band t-shirt of Erin's own band, the Rapskellions, black jeans with frayed ends, some simple cat-eye sunglasses, a light yellow crossbody bag with a bunch of pins and patches, and some black platforms with some spikes on the sides. Pretty simple, but effective in my mind. I just love the fact that Erin would definitely wear their own band merch out and about. When you think of a band called the Rapskellions, you'd probably think of more rock songs, right? Well, I mean, they have a few, but most of their songs are more indie songs or even just covers of existing songs. I'd like to think that Erin has a small performance every weekend at a cool stage out in the woods where small bands go to perform. But although the Rapskellions are a small band, they're relatively big with a good amount of following. They would definitely have a wide variety of music, including original songs based on the band's lives. Erin's band consists of Erin being the lead singer, songwriter, guitarist, and social media director. Then we have Troy, who is a background singer and drummer for the band, alongside with handling the expenses and money of the band. Then there's Marin, who is a background vocalist, second guitarist, second main songwriter, and setlist creator. Then we have Lydia, who's the keyboard player, background vocalist, and the band's director. But back to the outfit, Erin only wears this formal outfit when they're going to events such as their band concert, a school graduation, or something more formal, and performances for their younger siblings. It's really cute and silly to me, but I feel like Erin would be a situationally good and protective older sister. I feel that Erin just slaps some random stuff into their crossbody bag and just somehow is really lucky, and their siblings always end up needing something from there. Like they would have a hairpin or something and their siblings would end up needing it, which I think would be really cute and really silly. Now grab your backpack because it's time to go to school. This prompt was school uniform. Erin's school uniform is the outfit I draw them the most in. I designed the full school uniform regulations so I could see how I could change around the school uniform to make each of my characters look more unique, but also cohesive in a way I do quite like, to be honest. This part is pretty short, seeing as it is just a simple white button-up shirt with dark periwinkle pants and a tie. For Erin to make their uniform unique, I had them have short sleeves in order to move around since they're energetic and chaotic. Then I had them untuck half of their shirt and untie some of their tie, showing that Erin does not respect authority that much. But now it is time to move on to the next prompt. This prompt is pajamas, and this one was pretty simple, but I kind of wished I put more details or put more thought into the outfit. Erin's pajamas are just a purple tank top, some dark gray pajama pants, and purple fuzzy socks because they sleep better with socks. Unlike me, though, I cannot sleep with any type of socks on. But anyways, I even decided to draw Erin's hair more flatter with less product because, yes, Erin does add product to their hair. It does not naturally stick up like shoujo anime protagonists do. So I thought I'd show that because Eren takes showers right before bed so they don't have to wake up so freaking early to get ready for the day. I mean, it takes them long enough seeing as they have 8 siblings that Eren needs to get to school in the morning. But that one was pretty quick, and I enjoyed thinking about Eren's comfort and what they would wear to sleep. But now it is time for the 6th prompt. Let's go! Now this prompt infuriated me. This one was for Sona, so I had to think about what animal Eren would be and draw it. This one is definitely my least favorite because 1, I can't draw animals, let alone personas. And number 2, I could not think of what animal Eren would be for the life of me. I ended up going with a bat since that was what fit their vibe and I thought would be easiest for me to draw. I don't like the drawing very much, but I pushed through and got it done. You can literally see in the footage that I started with something else while doing this challenge. In the end, I just realized that I need to figure out how the anatomy works and then practice on how to transfer their anatomy to more human-like features and proportions. I understand now that because I wasn't fully sure how bat anatomy works and is shaped, I had a lot harder of a time and a less enjoyable time than when I normally draw people, since I already understand their proportions and anatomy. That's also why I can't draw chibis very well, or at least in a style I like, because, yeah. But let's slide on over to the future for this next prompt. This prompt was draw the child or adult version of your character. I chose adult since I'm still working out the basic design for young Eren and I had old Eren more figured out. And by old and young, I mean like a 3 to 4 year difference since that's when important life-altering events happen to Eren. I really enjoyed thinking about what future Eren would look like, and getting to draw it out digitally was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. See, I'm more of a traditional artist to where I prefer drawing in my sketchbooks and notebooks and paper rather than digitally. But this challenge really helped me to expand the love I have for digital art, and from all that, I kind of started to avoid sketchbooking altogether. I practically hid my sketchbook because I didn't want to feel bad about not drawing in it. But through this new love of digital drawing, I started to do an OC animatic to the song Little Miss Perfect, and I'm really enjoying the process. I've tried animating quite a few times before this, but I never really got the hang of it. Or at least that wasn't until I started learning the basics and applying them to the knowledge I already knew about animation. But it's only going to be an animatic, so I'll have rough line art, little to no shading or colors, and less fluid animation. But I promise I'm trying my best, and I might post a video about that next Monday after this comes out. But back to the art. I really want to stay more mysterious and less talkative about the ending because I haven't really figured it out yet, and I'm hoping to get to work on this more myself because I need to build up concepts that I think would be better suited for me to do by myself. So I will be all hush-hush about Eren's eye scar and blonde hair, but I also do have a design for young Eren that I'm definitely working on. I'm trying to figure out world building and how I actually want the story to go, and I am working on it. I might have a sketchbook purely for world building, seeing as I think my other sketchbooks would benefit from only having still little things I want to draw in the moment, but I still might do concept art of stuff in my normal sketchbooks. Now it is time for the next prompt. Let's head on over. This one is really short, so sorry, but the swimsuit is just a yellow flowy top and some yellow bottoms. It didn't take me too long to make it, so sorry, it's so short. Now, time for the next prompt. This one's a bit longer, but I'm not really a big fan of how this one turned out. Like I said earlier, I had trouble with sticking to the very grunge aesthetic without any references, so most of these outfits won't be permanent to the webcomic. But it was a fun little experiment. This one is also simple. I'm really going for the simplicity aspect here, but it's a dark gray fluffy jacket with a long sleeve purple turtleneck, some dark gray ripped jeans, and the classic platforms that Eren wears even though they already duck under doorways. I'd like to think that they wear something similar, but just with a little more spice and fairy grunginess added to this. I was trying to think about the fact that I needed my outfits to be more simple, or I would burn myself out drawing them. But also, the locket that Aaron has in their default clothing is a locket their parents gave to them, and I only seen them taking it off in the shower or to swim, so the fact that they aren't wearing it in almost every single one of these drawings means I forgot about that part of Aaron. But what is y'all's favorite season? I enjoy summer the most because I like the heat and the sun, but those are the exact reasons why my friends don't like the summer. I'm just not a cold person, as in I need to be warm or else I'm freezing cold, and I do not like snow. Just not a snow person, to be honest. Time for the next prompt. Let's go. Now, this is my second least favorite drawing. I think it shows. I even drew Aaron all sad because they're not wearing their cool fairy grunge clothing. This outfit is inspired by old money fashion styles, but it just does not suit Aaron, and I wasn't in a good mood while drawing this, so it just turned out to not be a good one. I like the idea of this prompt, but I'm not sure I executed this one in a way where I could have liked it. I gave Aaron a pastel green dress with that classic square neckline, some weird ballet flats, I think, some funky looking sunglasses, but this one was pretty short, so on to the next one. This prompt was to draw your character with the character they are closest to. I might have took this in the wrong way, but I drew Aaron with another one of my webcomic characters, M. But it was just a cute little drawing. I spent more time with the shading and stuff since I was just having such a great time with this drawing, and so I wanted to draw them in a cute scene with M pushing Aaron's face and saying, "Don't call me Peanut," because M hates the nickname Aaron gave them and thinks they should just shut up. But they would never say that to Aaron, because what sort of a polite lady would she be if she used such vulgar language as "shut up" and "idiot"? I'm joking, obviously, but M is a bit more fancy and nice with her words because she comes from a richer family and background. But I messed up on something because when I made M, I immediately thought about how she would talk, and I went, "She will not use contractions." So M doesn't combine words such as don't, didn't, can't, and doesn't. She says the full-length thing, do not, did not, cannot, and does not. I know, it's so stupid and unnecessary, but I love it. She's my baby, and I love her, and she can be as silly as I want her to be. I fixed the words in the end, though. When I think about how I want Aaron to talk, I want them to have a slight Latino accent and be all sassy with sarcastic quips and stuff. I've tried to find some voice claims for Aaron, but I can't find someone that would fit. If you have any character suggestions, though, I would love to hear it. I have ideas of what each of my characters would sound like, but I just don't have the time to look for voice claims and stuff. I do have character playlists for Aaron and M, though. They have a lot of the same songs since they're the two main characters of my future webcomic, but can't talk about that right now. Next prompt. I also don't really like the drawing for this one. Aaron's face looks weird, and I had a lot of trouble drawing Ren's nose, but this prompt was to draw the character that they are the least close to. I was thinking about my characters and how Aaron talks and reacts and interacts with each one of them. I was thinking I would draw Caleb, my shy dragonborn baby boy who's spooked by everything and everyone except his best friend / mom friend, Camila. But I decided to draw Ren and Aaron. Ren isn't very open to talking with strangers, and I think it would take a really long time for Aaron to get even a single word out of Ren, so I chose to draw him with Aaron. I drew a simple little scene of Aaron waving at Ren, and Ren just glaring back at them. I would say they'd be in a class together, but I decided that Ren wouldn't go to the school that Aaron, M, Camila, Hilda, and Caleb do. But Marigold and Opal are also not going to the school, and we will meet all three of them in other ways in the story. Ren is probably the character I draw and think the least about, sadly, so his relationships with my other characters are probably as unknown to me as it is to you, to be honest. I really need to work on him. I really like Ren's design, but he's kind of difficult to draw in his side profile, but it got me questioning some of his design. I normally have him wear a mask, and I wonder how it looks from the side profile. I've still yet to draw it, but I need to test it out because I really like the look of his mask, and I think it makes him look more unique. Ren is a gnome, so he's very short, and because of me drawing more character interactions, I realized I need to actually give my characters a definite height, because it's really hard to draw people right next to each other when you don't know the height difference. I tried to guesstimate, but I don't think it's working very well. Welp, on to the next prompt though. Yippee! Woo! I absolutely loved this drawing. It took a while, but I really enjoyed getting to draw this prompt. This one was to draw your character's hobby, and Aaron's is painting, other than being in a band. So I drew a little scene of Aaron painting something, and over in the corner, I drew Aaron showing Em the painting that they made of her. I just thought it would be really cute, and fleshing out stuff such as this gives our OCs more life. It makes it feel like they could be real people. Except only one of my OCs in this universe is actually people. But Aaron paints a lot. I drew in their room once, and I had a few paintings up in a space and paint stuff everywhere as well. I feel like Aaron's house would have a lot of their paintings on the walls too, and I bet some of their siblings would want to help paint or just paint with Aaron, which I think would be really, really cute. Something I like about this drawing that I did was I actually drew out the painting, which was super fun. I went for a more lineless look because I feel like Aaron would be really into abstract art, so they'd have more experience with lineless stuff. Have y'all ever painted? Because I have. I mostly paint with watercolors, and my most recent ones were a flower and a painting of a character that I made to paint with a friend. They were sun and moon inspired, and I did the sun inspired one. I named him Apollo Sale, but I didn't really like how the painting turned out, so I accidentally correlated bad vibes with him, so I never drew him much. I think I just need to work on my painting skills because practice makes permanent, and the more I paint, the more I'll remember and be able to do. I gave Aaron a sort of painting outfit that they wear when they paint because they don't want to get their nice clothes covered with paint. This outfit would be one they would wear in the summer, and it was also kind of a play on the pajama outfit I gave them early in the video. I would have them put on just a basic hoodie that would be covered with paint in the winter because we don't want Pookie Bear freezing to death. The line art process for this drawing was really tedious, especially for the easel and canvas since it was a bunch of straight lines in perspective, but I think I managed to pull it off. I also want to mention that I drew the easel and canvas from memory, so if anything looks funky about the way it looks in general, then that's why. But overall, this drawing was one of my favorites, and I'll definitely draw Aaron painting more since I enjoyed it so much the first time. This whole challenge was just super fun, and even though I was really busy and had a hard time with the prompts, thank you again, Baby Carrot Art, for making this drawing challenge. Now time for spooky drawing. Hey baby, here are so many heroes, so many tears, give me one good reason, why you're Superveil, got the mind of a genius, try harder, spread a skill with words, you can do better than that, it's kind of funny, never once has he cheated on his wife, release him. Okay, so I maybe did a thing. This prompt was Halloween costume, and while I was thinking what to draw Aaron in, I was listening to some music. At first it was just Vocaloid music like Hatsune Miku because that's what's on Aaron's character playlist, but then the song changed and it was an Epic the Musical song. Now I cannot gush enough about how much I freaking love this musical. I have tried and my friends wanted to rip their ears off because how much I yapped about Epic. So I had a cool idea to draw Aaron in an Odysseus costume, so I just did. Last prompt time. Now this prompt, which was family portrait, was the longest for a reason. Aaron has 8 siblings and no parents, so I had to draw 9 people. Except Aaron is the oldest, and they're only 16. That means I had to draw a bunch of children. I don't know how Studio Ghibli does it, but they draw little kids so cutely, and I really wanted to do some studies, but I was busy and wanted to get this video out a week before it actually came out, so I just drew them. No references, just drew some children. But we have Sarah, Sebastian, Anna, Juniper, Johnny, Jasper, Elise, and Carlos. Sarah and Sebastian are twins who are both 13. Anna is 11. Juniper, Johnny, and Jasper are 8-year-old triplets. Elise is 6. And Carlos is 3.5. Yeah, this is kind of a lot. But I wanted Aaron to have a different side of themselves that they don't normally show people. A more motherly side, because after their parents died, Aaron has been trying to mother their siblings, keep the peace, survive school, and still have good teenage years. That's a lot for one person. I did the drawing with boys on the left and girls on the right, going by age order down. This drawing took me absolutely forever. I had to sketch 9 people, line art 9 people, individually, might I add, color 9 people, and shade 9 people. I was so ready to be done when I was coloring and shading. The coloring and shading was probably the quickest and easiest part. I mostly just used a fill bucket to fill up stuff, but I realized that the gray I used for some of their hair looked bad. Not at all like silver, how I wanted it to, and was really close in value to the skin. It was bad, but I didn't care enough to worry about it too much. But let me tell you more about these younger siblings of Aaron. Sarah and Sebastian, the 2 oldest, are practically complete opposites. Sarah really loves girly things and is an extrovert, but not too good at school. Sebastian is completely different. He likes dark colors and things being all broody and stuff. He's a really big introvert and is really good at school. Anna loves unicorns. She's the one with the unicorn horn headband on her head. She likes girly things, but also is decently athletic, but all she does is just goes outside and pretends to be a unicorn. Juniper, Johnny, and Jasper are all really different as well. Juniper is really sweet and loves plants and nature and gardening. Jasper, on the other hand, likes throwing hands with people and fighting. He wants to be a kung fu master and be super buff and strong when he grows up. Johnny is just essentially a small Aaron. While Aaron dyes her hair black, Johnny was naturally born with black hair. Johnny is more of an introvert, though, rather than Aaron's extroverted nature. Johnny loves drawing and is almost always in a sketchbook, except he won't let anyone look at it. Johnny has an eye patch because he is the sole survivor of the car crash that their mom and dad were in. His parents both died, but Johnny survived, but is just completely blind in one eye. He's so precious, though, and totally not my favorite of Aaron's siblings. He's definitely my favorite of Aaron's siblings. Elise is a tomboy and loves all sports, particularly soccer. She loves getting to run around and kick the ball and is actually quite good at soccer. And I'm not talking about the swarm that little kids do in elementary school. I'm talking about actual soccer. Now, baby Carlos is just so sweet and loves trucks and machines. He's just so fascinated by them. He's the youngest of the family, being only 3.5, but he's very talkative and loves to be around people. His hair is curly and mostly blonde, except for the little silver strip that he inherited from his mom. I absolutely loved building up Aaron's family, and even though I had already done it before, this challenge, it was still really fun to work on them a bit more. By the way, what type of art content would y'all like to see? Would you like me to do more OC work? I'm in a bunch of fandoms, so I could do some stuff for that. I could maybe just do a chill draw with me or try out the music and gaming content I also wanted to do. I know this is only my 3rd video so far, but to anyone who's watching, thank you so much for just clicking on this video. But anyways, back to the art. I am now doing the line art for the characters, and this was really frustrating because I decided I would do the line art on separate layers for each character. It was chill, but it took a really long time to finish. I still love how it turned out, and even though there's a lot of things I need to work on and fix, I still enjoy the process. In the story, Aaron goes off to the Warlock Clan for school, leaving all their siblings in the care of their neighbor, Mrs. Julie. Mrs. Julie is an elderly woman who loves all of Aaron's siblings very dearly, but is just too old to take proper care of them. So while Aaron is gone, Sarah and Sebastian, the two oldest siblings, have to work harder to take care of them. They frequently call on Sarah's phone since she's the only one of Aaron's siblings who has one, since she's the oldest by 2 minutes, and you know she loves to tease Sebastian about being the older sister. They all love each other a lot and would do anything to protect one another. Aaron also cares very dearly for each of them, but because they keep getting kicked out of schools and had to go away, super far away, they have a harder time maintaining as good of a relationship as they would like. In the coloring process, I tried to give everyone a main color in their outfit. Carlos's is red, Elise's is orange, Aaron's is yellow, Sarah's is green, Juniper's is teal, Jasper's is a dark blue, Sebastian's is a dark purple, Johnny's is violet, and Anna's is pink. I tried to make sure that there were no overlapping colors, but when you put them all together, they make a longer than normal rainbow. I love doing stuff like this to differentiate, like, different colors and different aspects of people. But anyways, here is the finished art of the Ruelas family portrait with Aaron and all 8 of their siblings. Now here is all the drawings. Yeah. I am just so very proud of myself for finishing this challenge. I loved making all of this art except the ones I didn't. Now observe the pretty drawings I made. Thank you so much again, Baby Carrot Art, for making this art challenge. I had a lot of fun doing this, and it was good practice for me to do right before I do the Pencil Cats 30-Day Art Improvement Heck Challenge. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great morning, noon, afternoon, or night.